Growing up, I had dreams and aspirations, but always felt like the kid that didn't fit in. For the most part, I wasn't a bad kid, but when I made the transition into adulthood, I turned to the streets for guidance. This led to getting locked up in juvenile hall, doing time in CYA, and eventually a 120-month sentence in federal prison. I had a lot of time to think and reflect during my federal sentence, so I share with you what I learned, hoping I can positively influence someone else's life with Prison Talk. What's up? Big Herc 916, getting down with another Prison Talk. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share the channel. Go to freshoutseries.com, pick you up a hoodie, or pick you up a t-shirt, or some soap and wash your ass. One of the viewers asked me, Big Herc, what was going through your mind during the bank robbery and the high-speed chase the day you got arrested? What was going through my mind? Ah, man, that was a crazy day, man. A crazy day, you know. I kind of sit back and reflect whenever I see somebody on the news in a high-speed chase and it's a robbery situation, because the way it always ends is the person on the run getting caught. The only time you don't see it end like that is when they don't have it on camera. But if you're on camera and they're filming it, you're going to jail, buddy, for a long time. But when you're about to do something like a robbery at that level, a public act of insurrection against a federally insured institution, you're asking for one of two things. You're asking to try to get some money, but you're not asking the right way. And number two, you're asking to go to prison. Or number three, you're asking to get smoked by the police if you're using a firearm. There are guys who have robbed banks with notes, but I never seen any rationale in a note, so I've always used a firearm. And it's a recipe to get killed. And if you grew up with any morals or values before you're about to do something like that, all those morals and values start popping in your head, the voices. You think about maybe things you were taught by your grandmother, your grandfather, your mom. If you had a dad, maybe your dad. You think about the difference between right and wrong, and whether or not what you're doing is the right thing to do. But I can pretty much guarantee you, if you're robbing a bank, there are some things that led up to you making that decision to rob a bank. So it's a build-up process. It's not the first crime you go commit. You most likely did some smash and grabs. Maybe you robbed some niggas in the hood, and it's a build-up process. You might have robbed a convenience store. You done robbed something to get to the point where you're gonna rob a bank. But I don't know. It was like my mind was, it was in a place where I can't even describe, man, because I can never entertain that mindset at the level of consciousness I have now. And that's why I tell a lot of young people, when you're doing things when you're young, you're not going to feel the same way about those things when you get older. In a sense, I was totally disconnected from my I guess my subconscious, because my subconscious was telling me to not rob the bank, but my conscience was telling me to go along with this plan. And before I even robbed the bank, there were certain signs from the universe that told me to check myself. One was a crazy call I got from my mom, 7 in the morning, asking me what I was doing. And I talked with her briefly. I lied to her. And when I got off the phone with her, I just looked around the living room and thought about what that call meant. Only briefly though, because I wasn't tuned in. When you're not tuned in, man, you don't really grasp it until you can reflect. And I didn't have enough reflection time. I just kind of sat there real quick and just like thought like, man, this might be the last time I talk to my mom for a minute, man. Because, you can't get caught robbing a bank. And I went out and walked the dogs. It was an eerie morning, cold, rainy. Came back, put the dogs in the kennel. And got the text that the guys were outside. Came outside, and the 2 guys who I robbed the bank with were in the car. I got in the back seat. It was quiet. It was a feeling of uneasiness. Nobody was really talking. Morning, LA traffic, rain. It was a messed up morning, man. I should have stayed my ass in bed, man. I'm telling you, I should have stayed my ass in bed. So many other things I wish I would have did differently. But who knows, man. Maybe that day, changed my life for the better as far as how I look at things now. But anyways, getting back to the story, on the ride to the bank, pulled up, and it seemed like everything was in slow motion. Because I sat there and nobody seemed to move. Everybody was kind of like frozen. And I just jumped out the car, man. I pulled the ski mask down, jumped out the car, grabbed a strap, ran through the bank doors, and told everybody to get on the ground. Get the F on the ground. There was a bank security guard. He was scared. There were people in there scared. I think somebody ran out one of the doors. Heart was beating through my chest, man. When I ran in the bank, I was assuming the other guy was behind me, and he ran in behind me. He jumped over the counter. He proceeded to get the money out the bank teller's drawers, screaming. I'm looking at the clock. Man, it's just crazy, man. You're literally having an out-of-body experience because it seems surreal. And during that, what appears to be slow motion fiasco, in the back of your mind, you're trying to figure out whether you're gonna come out of this on the plus size, which means with your freedom, or are you gonna go all the way out? All the way out means you're just gonna choose to get you know get murdered by the police. Go all the way out. You point the gun at the police, you can go out. And some guys do that because they have nothing else to lose. Luckily I wasn't on no drugs and nothing like that, so I wasn't gonna choose murder by police. I wasn't gonna, get to the point where I was gonna let myself just get killed, suicide myself. But I just kind of thought, okay, if it doesn't go as planned, then I'm gonna be going away for a while. And you always see in the movies, it seems like it goes by fast, and they're in and out of there, and they're talking. Man, you ain't got that much time. And I tell you, even in the short amount of time we were in the bank, things happened. I looked out the door, the glass in the door, and I seen the sheriffs out there with a raincoat, with a shotgun. I knew that they were in the area. I knew that it was all bad. I knew it was a wrap. I knew it was a wrap before we even exited the bank, because I had seen the sheriff. The other two guys hadn't seen him, but I knew it was a wrap, man. It was just a matter of time. It was like counting down. It was like counting down, New Year's, but without the celebration, or the end of a football game, man. It was just a countdown, man. And after the co-defendant, man, got through getting the money and just really getting, kind of out of control, because he was on an adrenaline rush. We exited the bank, pulled out. As soon as we pulled out of the bank, because it had one of those banks that had a drive-through, and when he pulled out of the other side, and we pulled onto the main street. Coincidentally, there was a cop car right behind us. It bumped us, and I don't know if it knew we were in the car, but you had 3 black males in the car, and I'm quite sure they already had a description, because they had, I believe, hit the panic button in the bank, and we sped out, turned into a parking lot. The cop got out, opened his door, pointed his gun at us. And dude, this was so quick, man. I'm telling you, man, don't let these niggas lie to you, man, and act like, oh man, blah, blah, blah. Look, man, you don't ever want to be in this type of situation. I'm telling you the story so that you can get a visual of it, because you don't want to be in this type of situation. They have a right to shoot you, man. We had guns. So he pulled out his gun. We're sitting there. He told us to get out the car, get out the car. I'm like, damn, this shit is over already? Well, the driver guns it, right, smashes past the cop, is scared. He don't know what to do. He just looks around. We shoot past his car into another parking lot where we have another car that we're gonna switch up in and drive away in a Lincoln Navigator. We were driving a Ford Escort, 4-door. We switch cars, we get in Lincoln Navigator. There's cops everywhere. Cops, SWAT, there's helicopters, man, crazy. There's no way, there was no way we were getting away that morning. We pull out. As we pull out, there are plainclothes and clothed officers in the area. They look at us. Once again, like I said, man, you have no business being over there in this area at this time. So we were suspicious. They started following us, and high-speed chase, man. High-speed chase, and I'm just thinking, man, I don't want to die this day, but it would be nice to get away. But I know it wasn't gonna happen. So it was just playing out. It was like playing out the ending of a bad movie, man. The driver's driving. There's traffic. People are panicked. They got roadblocks. He's dipping and dodging. We jump on the freeway. We driving on the freeway, man. There's probably 15, 20 cop car pursuit, man. It's crazy, man. It's a lot of cops, man. You know, you guys, you know, a lot of people be making comments when they see stuff on TV or situations. A lot of y'all don't know what the hell you're talking about. You ain't never been in no shit like this. And I'm not bragging about it. I'm just saying this is a shitty situation, man, because I made a dumb choice. But we're driving. There's a lot of cops, you know, hundreds of cops, over 100 cops between all the different stop points and everything. We're driving. Cops all behind us. You can't see anything because it's raining. We run over a spike strip. And the spike strip pops the tires. So we're in the rain riding on rims. You know, the cars, the SUVs all over the place. Driving to the point to where once the rubber pops all the way off, I mean, it's a wrap. The car, you know, boom. You know, he's like, man, I'm gonna get out. You guys do what you're gonna do. He runs into the center divider. Apparently, I didn't know they had sent the K9 into the car. I jumped out of the back of the SUV, jumped over the center divider, ran over 4 lanes of traffic, 5 lanes of traffic, up an embankment, looking around to try to figure out where am I gonna hide or can I get away? And you know, it was just a matter of time. It was just, I mean, I'm just acting off of instinct. I really don't know what the hell I'm doing. It's amazing I made it across the freeway. I could have got killed, man. I could have got killed. 4 lanes of traffic in the rain. I run up the embankment. I run over onto like the beach boardwalk, and there's probably another 20 cops, and they tell me to get on the ground. And I get on the ground, man. I get on the ground, put my hands behind my back, I'm spread eagle, and the last thing I see is the ocean and the waves crashing. And I'm like, man, it's a wrap. It's a wrap, man. I'm done. I got to figure out something different. This is not the way to go. And when I'm laying on the beach looking out into the ocean is when I had my epiphany to change my life. So change your life. Big Herc 916, fresh out.
Hello, my name is Big Herc 916, and I'm from the Wash Your Ass Committee, and I'm here to help you clean your booty hole. So I have some scents here that I would like to share with you. I have Festival, I have Butt Naked Scrub, I have some Oatmeal Milk and Honey, I have Jamaican Me Crazy, Festival. You can take a pick from one of these scents and wash your ass, make your body feel better about itself, get rid of the funk. And I would like to make sure I can give you a good deal, so let me know. Go to freshoutseries.com, pick you up a bar, and please wash your ass.
Stop walking around with a crusty butt, smelly ball sack, and a funky hoo-ha. Big Herc said wash that ass. Pick you up a t-shirt at freshoutseries.com.
Lockdown's over. Get your yard time in. Exclusively at freshoutseries.com.